Up front now, former Israeli Prime Minister Naftali Bennett. President Biden making it clear to me that if Israel launches a ground invasion into Rafah, into the population center, that the United States will halt weapon shipments. Here's what he said.
If they go into Rafah, I'm not supplying the weapons that have been used historically to deal with Rafah, to deal with the cities, to deal with that problem. We're going to continue to make sure Israel is secure in terms of Iron Dome and their ability to respond to attacks like came out of in the Middle East recently. But it's just wrong.
What do you say to him?
Well, certainly President Biden has always been a great friend to Israel, but I think this decision is deeply misguided. What are we being told here? We have a radical jihadist terror organization on our border that's telling us it's going to continue trying to murder as many Jews as possible. Obviously, we have to get rid of it. We have no choice. Now, talking about civilians, if Hamas is granted immunity because it hides behind civilians, that's not only a problem with Hamas. That means that the whole global jihad organizations are all going to adopt human shields as the core way of conducting terror. So this would be a profound mistake. And we think that we have really no choice, and we got to do what we got to do.
So let me just ask you, though, because he made very clear to me that some of the weapons that the United States has provided, including those powerful 2,000-pound bombs, he says that those bombs have been used by Israel to kill civilians in Gaza, that has happened. I want to play that exact soundbite for you.
Civilians have been killed in Gaza as a consequence of those bombs and other ways in which they go after population centers.
Are you able to confirm whether U.S. bombs have killed civilians in Gaza?
Well, of course, bombs, when they target Hamas, there sometimes is collateral damage. In all wars, in every urban war in the history of the world, there's collateral damage, especially when Hamas is using the civilians as a human shield. There's no doubt. But is Israel using bombs to target civilians? Absolutely not. Never. We never target civilians. In fact, we have the lowest ratio of collateral damage in the history of urban warfare. There's about, let's call it 32,000 Palestinians who died. Half of them are terrorists. That's 1-to-1. In Afghanistan, in Iraq, it was 1-to-9. For every terrorist you killed, there were 6, 7, 8, 9 civilians. We're bending over backward in order to prevent unnecessary deaths. Otherwise, we'd get this whole thing done within 3 days if we didn't care about it. So Israel is not cavalier about this.
All right, so are you going to continue? I mean, there was a video just put out by Prime Minister Netanyahu in what appears to be a very clear and aggressive response to Biden. He says, quote, if we have to stand alone, we will stand alone. And then the IDF said Israel has the weapons for a Rafah invasion. My first question to you, I guess, on this is a very basic one. Are any of those weapons that the IDF says that you have stockpiled for a Rafah invasion American weapons in stockpile?
I don't know. I assume that some of them are. I mean, just I'm not in government right now.
So do you have any doubt when you hear that Prime Minister Netanyahu plans to go forward with a full incursion into Gaza, into Rafah?
We should have done Rafah 4 months ago. I don't know why this wavering. We should have just done it. Stop talking about it all day. Just go in, destroy Hamas, destroy those 4 battalions, kill the leaders of Hamas, unless they release the hostages. That's what I would have done. We're doing this way too late, but it's better late than never. And really, we have no choice when there's 4 battalions. Just imagine if on the border of Texas, you had ISIS that murdered roughly 50,000 Americans, kidnapped 6,000 Americans in a highly populated city in Mexico. What would America do? What would you do? So we're going to do just that, and we have to do it. There's no choice. We don't. This is not on the other side of Earth. This is on our border.
I'm just doing the math here. If you did that, right, so you'd have 50,000 times 17.5. That would mean the United States was willing to kill 875,000 Mexicans. Do you think we'd really do that?
The United States, rightfully so, during World War II, killed hundreds of thousands of Germans, millions of Japanese in order to bring an end to the war. The best way to save lives is to end the war as quickly as possible. This lingering is the problem. If we have the backing of the United States, that'll happen. I also want to say one more thing. This partial embargo sends a very bad message to Yahya Sinwar, the commander of Hamas, because if he was going to reach a deal, he'll say, I don't need to do a deal anymore, because anyway, Israel can't come into Hamas if America is not supporting it. Moreover, Hezbollah in the north, all the terror organizations in the Middle East are going to say to themselves, wait, if America is withholding arms from Israel, this is a great time to attack Israel because they won't have enough arms. So I think this is not the right approach.
One more question I wanted to ask you about the response within your government. Biden's comments have sparked a lot of anger and alarm, clearly. Netanyahu's national security minister reacted by posting a tweet, and it says, Hamas, heart emoji, Biden. It was all he posted. I've seen it. You've seen it. Is that the right sentiment?
That's a childish and infantile response, and I'm certainly not going to defend every stupid thing that any minister says. I'm speaking mostly on behalf of mainstream Israel, right and left, religious, secular. We want to be close with the United States of America. We know America is our biggest friend. This is a time where we're being attacked from Yemen, from Iraq, from Iran, from Syria, from Lebanon, from Gaza. This is the time where we need to stand together, fight back terror, win, and get it over with.
All right. Well, thank you very much, former Prime Minister Naftali Bennett. I appreciate your time.
Thank you.